Hey everyone, I'm Rachel.
And I'm David.
Join us for a deluxe balcony tour with a promenade view on the MSC World America.
Let's go!
So right inside your front door, you do have your thermostat. And it's really, really basic. It's like pretty much every cruise ship thermostat we've ever seen. Up for warmer, down for colder, and there's an on and off button. And that's just about it. There's no other options or anything that you can change. I do actually think it was really cool in here when we came in, and it wasn't even all the way down. So I think it's actually going to stay pretty decent, but obviously we'll let you guys know at the end of the video what it ended up being like. We also have 2 switches right by your front door. We have one that tells your stateroom store to make up your room, and one on do not disturb. This is really nice because you don't have to like fiddle with putting something outside your door. You can just hit the button and they know not to disturb you or that you're ready. And the last thing I'll point out by the door is that you have to have a key card in here for your lights and your thermostat to work properly. Also right inside your front door is your full-size mirror.
Woo.
So a pretty nice mirror. There's a light right above it. And that leads us right around the corner to where the bathroom and the closet are. And your light switch for your bathroom is actually out here in the main room. That's pretty typical, but since it's kind of around the corner, it's a little bit different than we would normally see. And here is your bathroom. And like the first thing is this enclosed shower. That's a really big hot commodity in the cruise ship world, and we love that there's an enclosed space there. It's actually pretty decently sized too, considering this isn't like a suite or any kind of room like that. So you do have a shower head that looks like it moves up and down, so that's really nice for your height differences. And there's shampoo and shower gel in there, but they're not branded and there's no conditioner, so definitely bring your own hair care products. And there is a little shelf, which is really handy. And at the top, they do have a clothesline. So if your bathing suits or something else get wet, you can hang them up in the shower to dry. And there's actually even a handle in case there's some rocky seas and you need to grab onto something that'll keep you steady. And also something that'll keep you steady is a little shelf for your foot, particularly if you're going to be shaving your legs. That will be super, super helpful. All right, so next to your shower, you do have your towels and then a couple of shelves above your huge vanity mirror. And those shelves are pretty big, so I think it's going to be a really good amount of space. And they even have like a little thing to store your toothbrush in, which I've never seen that before, but I actually really appreciate it. And the hand soap is built into the sink. And down below your sink, you do have your toilet paper, as well as some extra toilet paper and our bath mats down there. And that's just right next to your toilet as well. And one of my favorite features of this bathroom is actually this little vanity mirror. So,
Whoa!
yeah, you can move it all around.
It's very smudgy.
Yeah, it probably needs to be cleaned, but this will make it so much easier because honestly, the lighting in here is not the brightest, so it'll make it so much easier to get ready in the morning. So right outside your bathroom is your closet area, and there are tons of shelves. So lots of open shelves that we're currently showing you. They're pretty big and pretty deep. Down below them, there's actually some regular drawers, and I put my fanny pack in there, but they are actually soft close. So that's really nice, and it came open really easy. It's pretty deep as well. And then these are actually your closet doors. It's a very tight space. So I'm going to open this door, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to open this door. There we go. And here is your closet space. So it's actually really deep. It goes pretty far back there. There's plenty of space to hang things, though not as many hangers as I think you would need for a closet if you're going to fill up a closet this size. Above the hangers, there's actually another shelf up here. Normally this is where I would find the life vests, so I don't know what's supposed to go up here. I might actually use it for storage this time. Lots of space for your hangers. And then as you go down in the closet, there are some little kind of shelves right here. I think that's going to be good for storing things you don't want to put somewhere else, like shoes or things like that. And lots of storage in the bottom where we can put our suitcases once they're unpacked.
All right, and here we have the television for the room. This one's actually decent size. It's a little bit wonky. We'll show you guys where the bed is, but it pretty much is in front of half of the bed, and the other half is going to be like looking kind of weird. And as you know, with these TVs, for the most part, they do not turn, they don't pivot. This one looks like it might a little bit, but I think it's just on there very gingerly. So I'm going to be really, really careful with this one. I don't recommend fiddling with it to try to get your devices hooked into it unless you have a lot of experience. They would be on this side right here, so you have a little bit more room to maneuver. Fortunately, because over here, you got this lip against the mirror, which would cause major issues trying to get your hands back there. But just below that, we have this phone, and it's actually mounted to the wall, which is pretty cool. We really don't see that often. I don't know if I've ever seen that in a cruise ship.
And that's great because it saves you space on your desk.
Yeah, and it's on there really, really well. So you got all your regular options here, nothing too crazy. Right across from that, you have this nice little shelf, actually, which just houses some of your door hangers. You got your breakfast order and stuff like that. And then a nice little emergency card with some good phone numbers on it. All right, and down below the phone, you actually have your light switch for your mirror, your vanity mirror here. And next to that, you got all the goodies. So this is actually a US or international.
It is.
I think it works for both. Then you got a regular USB, a USB-C, and then another one of those US/international plugs here. Obviously, this isn't the only plug you have in the room. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. But I think this is actually a pretty good spot to have like a set amount of plugs ready for you. And we'll get into a little bit more about those here in a minute. But below that even, you have some more shelves here. So I feel like they actually did a pretty good job utilizing the space that they have in here. And having like these kind of little drawers are really nice for things you're not going to be accessing like too often. So I like that we have that. And then you have your little trash can here. Right next to those shelves, you have some drawers. And inside the drawer, top drawer at least, you have a hairdryer, which looks like a space gun. That's always on, I guess, and you just push the button.
Oh, it's one of the...
Yeah, it's like attached down there, so...
I hate those.
I don't know if this is good or not, Valera.
I don't know.
It's way out of my realm of...
Having to hold the button is the worst.
Is it, those suck?
Yeah.
Soft close drawers, that's a bonus. But actually, it doesn't look like it's closing all the way, so I don't know what's up with this one in particular. But then you have your safe, which actually looks like a pretty nice safe. But Rachel mentioned before that I don't think you could really fit like a big laptop in here. You might be able to fit like a MacBook or something in here, potentially. Definitely an iPad level.
Well, and the lock part of the safe actually takes up a good chunk of the space.
Yeah, once it's actually down.
Mm-hmm. So you can't put very thick things in there either.
Yeah, so that one you're going to have to kind of be careful with, I think. Also soft close. And then you have a little bit of a deeper drawer down here at the bottom, which that one closes all the way. Pretty good. And then right below that table, you have actually a little nice ottoman. It's faux leather, but actually pretty squishy. So, and right above that, a nice little drawer for the desk. This would be good for a laptop. That would definitely fit in here and a couple of electronics and stuff. Also soft close. And then you have your refrigerator, which has a lock right here for some reason. But this doesn't open all the way, so you want to be careful with that too. It can be a little wonky. But the fridge seems actually pretty decent. Like it's got a pretty good shelf size in there, but they filled it up with a bunch of stuff we don't want. And they actually include a bottle opener, which is pretty fancy. I haven't seen that before. All right, a little bit up from the fridge, you have your ice bucket. But right next to that, you have a couple of international ports. So you got 2 here and then 4 on the other side, technically. So this is one of the reasons we recommend bringing an international adapter. And if you do end up using something like a power strip, make sure it's cruise approved. And even then, some cruise lines don't accept it. And then right above that, you have 2 more shelves. Pretty good height, like between them, which is kind of weird. They probably could have added another shelf here. But again, it's always nice to have shelf space on cruise ships. So very grateful for that. And that leads us into the pretty good size mirror. As you saw before, these lights up here are actually the only light source for it. There's nothing that goes around it. I think they did that to kind of make the room feel a little bit bigger because I feel like this room's actually fairly small. Alrighty, we're on the bedside now, and it's fairly interesting actually. There's a couple things about it I didn't expect. So right here you have your bedside lamp, and then you also have a reading light here, but usually when you pop these out, they turn on. So this one's a little bit different. There's actually little buttons down here. So I'll try not to blind the viewers at home. I'll give you a little sneak peek. And then this one's for the actual light. So actually pretty cool. And right between those, you have a USB-C plug right here, which is actually pretty handy. The problem with that is that's your only plug on the side of your bed.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they were thinking with that. A lot of people don't use straight up USB-C plugs, so I'm really, really surprised to see that. You're really going to have to think about it if you have a CPAP machine or some kind of sleeping device that you wear. You wouldn't be able to charge your phone and your tablet on your bedside or something like that. Very, very strange. And then right below that, you actually have your light switch for the room. And it looks like it does pretty much... Oh, it's got a couple settings, actually. So you can push it a few times to get a couple extra lights on. But below that, we have a very strange-looking bedside drawer situation here. Or I guess they're shelves. But you can move this around, which is actually pretty nice. But these are shaped weird. And probably just good enough for about a tablet or maybe a journal or something like that. But very, very strange-looking little guy. But then we have the bed, which, in my opinion, is actually an okay size. Pretty good, probably pretty standard. I'm wondering if the foot of the bed, little couch thing was necessary. But when you don't have a couch in a room, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've already actually used it a couple times during filming. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty comfy. It's not like uncomfortable or anything. It's not like very stiff or anything. This part, I guess I'll show you guys at home what it's like to sit down. It's actually it's pretty nice. It's not super wide, so my big butt's not really on it completely, but I still appreciate it. And I don't know. So Rachel's heard some rumors about the beds being
Stiff.
So if you have any experience with like a princess bed, I'm going to be kind of comparing it to that because to me that's like the pinnacle of cruise ship beds. But again, that's a preference thing, obviously. And they actually have little embroidered beach towels. It actually feels like pretty good quality considering. I've seen some pretty bad beach towels out there. But we're going to set those aside for right now. Now this is to protect the bed from your luggage. I'm just going to move it a little bit. But here we go. It's definitely stiff. I can feel it once I had my foot even on it. All right, so it does have a little bounce in it. Not sure how I feel about that yet. Especially on rocky sea days, maybe. That might be weird going all over the place. But all right, I'm going to give you guys the official test here. Scoot down just slightly, sorry. Now, I am on top of the comforter. Part of that is for filming reasons, but I will be able to tell you, as an expert person who sleeps every day of their life, that I know that this mattress is not going to be my favorite. But I don't know if it's going to be as bad as I read online. I do like the pillows, actually. Now, keep in mind, viewers at home, I have been going through some back issues. But right now, maybe the whole embarkation process and stuff has me in a weird state. I kind of like it right now. I might just be tired. But I don't think I'm going to like it after a night or two, to be honest with you. So I'd probably give this one, like, a 4 out of 10.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. I don't think Rachel's going to like it at all. But I will say, I don't think you're going to get too warm in it. Like, I don't feel like this comforter is retaining heat. But when we do our room review, our final thoughts, we'll let you guys know officially what the bed situation was like. But I'm not particularly optimistic. I will say that. But I'm going to be open-minded.
All right, so I'm not optimistic now. Maybe I should have gone first. But yeah, it bounces a lot.
It does. It's really weird.
But it's hard, but it bounces. I'm confused. It's fun. Okay. Yeah. I think... Sorry. I thought it was going to be okay, and then I like settled in a little bit more, and then I was like, no, this is hard.
This is a legitimate first impressions. We have not been on this bed at all, or any MSC bed for that matter.
So, yeah, I'm not loving this. I'm gonna go with 3.
Yeah, it's bad.
I will hope that it gets better, and we'll tell you guys at the end how we ended up sleeping. But as a person that doesn't sleep well as it is, I think this is gonna be a real struggle for me this week. So, all right. So on the other side of your bed, you do have the same exact thing as what David showed you. So lots of different lighting options, and then your USB-C. So again, each side of the bed only has the USB-C. If you need 2 different plugs, you're kind of SOL. Luckily, there are a lot of plugs on the desk, so you can have like your iPad or something plugged in over there and just your phone, but still, it's just not great.
Yeah, I will say the desk isn't that far from the bed.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
At least there's that if you
The
have some kind of
spacing of
excuse.
this room, like what David said, the room is not very large lengthwise or widthwise, but like it's a very compact room. So you will be able to reach as long as you have some sort of extension cable. And if you didn't bring one, they may have one that you can borrow. So you can always ask your stateroom server for that too. But let's get to one of the main features of this room, and that is the balcony. As you can see, this curtain is very long. The balcony is actually much longer than a normal balcony. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna show you. All right, so like that's a really long opening, and the door.
The door
is
itself is
huge.
massive.
Like I don't know, I don't know why they made these balconies longer. Maybe it's because they realize you're not getting the ocean views, so they wanted to give you a little bit of extra something. I don't know. So before I open the door, I will say it's actually pretty quiet in here right this second. That's one of my big kind of concerns with having this room. We did get it through some sort of casino offer, didn't get to pick which kind of balcony we have, but it is pretty quiet right now. So hopefully that stays that way. But as soon as I open this, I can actually start to hear some of the noise from outside.
Yeah, you can.
So not only do you have to unlock the door down here, there is a little thing you have to undo here. It's not something you have to hold while you're opening the door, but you just have to make sure you flip it. So that way you can open your door. That's a little different.
That is different.
So this is our Promenade View balcony. It is covered, so that's actually nice because there is, a straight shot to the sky in the middle of the ship. So it will be good if it rains. We'll still have some cover here. But we do have some chairs. We have 2 chairs, and they're just like normal deck chairs. But because it's so long, I kind of would have wished for another foot stand because there's only one. That's kind of strange that they gave us 2 chairs and 1 footstool, and we don't have a table or anything out here. But also, I don't honestly know how much time I'm gonna want to spend out here just like hanging out because it's loud, it's echoey, I think is the problem. And then if they do any kind of activity in here, it's gonna get really loud. But I will say it is nice to be able to kind of view some of the central hubs of the ship. So you can view the giant slide, you can view the ocean very far away. But yeah, it's a decent width as well. So overall, it's going to be interesting. I'm really interested to see how I feel about this after being in it for like 7 days. Thanks for joining us on our tour of our deluxe balcony with a promenade view. So we've been in this room for a week now, and we want to give you our final thoughts about what we really thought about the room. And I guess the first thing is the key card in the light switch.
Oh, yeah.
So every other hotel room I've been in that was like this, or cruise ship room, you actually could put any card in there and it would continue to operate the lights. But this one, you actually have to put your cruise card in there. It has a chip sensor. So you can try some other card. We did. We tried a few different other cards. It does not let you, it does not keep the lights on. So that is something to keep in mind. It's not a huge deal, but like sometimes we fumble around like, oh, whose card should we put in because somebody else is going to go out, or we forget where our card is, only to realize it's in the doorway. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. So when we first encountered that and we realized the cards weren't going to work, I was like, oh no, the room's going to get really hot when we're not there. That actually hasn't been the case. Surprisingly, the room has been, in my opinion, a really good temperature.
But let's talk about the bathroom.
Yeah.
The shower pressure is pretty bad.
It's awful.
It's one of the worst that we've had in a really long time. That being said, the shower itself is really nice as far as being glass enclosed. There's a lot of room and a good amount of shelving in there. So we haven't really had any problems with that. But the bathroom configuration is a little strange. It's a little small. We don't even have a trash can in our bathroom. And the counter space, like there's lots of counter space, but it's very thin. So it's doesn't feel like a lot of counter space.
Yeah, I think I give bonus points to a shower that is glass enclosed on a cruise ship because, and it's becoming more and more common, but those people who've been cruising for a long time do know that the shower curtain was like kind of the norm for a really long time, unfortunately. So I do give it points for that. It's really, really clean. It's actually pretty nice. Like I think the fixtures are okay and stuff. But yeah, the counter space is super awkward, and I do not understand the no trash can in the bathroom. Now, I don't know if that's just our room, like maybe somebody took it or something.
Or forgot to put it back after they cleaned.
Yeah, but I would have figured if it wasn't that way, he would have replaced it by now because he's been in there every day.
Now, let's talk about the bed. That is a key thing for us particularly, but I know a lot of people when you go on vacation, any sort of vacation, you want to have a nice, comfy bed. David, what would you like to say about the bed? I'll let you go first.
Okay, I want to apologize to the viewers out there. In my original portion of this video, I gave the bed too much credit. After having been on it, it's actually pretty bad. And it's hard because I try not to be too picky. Again, you know, if you like a firmer bed out there, this bed's actually probably pretty good for you. Now, I haven't had back issues with it or anything like that, so I can't be that mad about it, but I would knock it down a couple of points from what I gave it earlier. It's just not a good bed in my opinion. But I do think the sheets are an okay quality. The pillows kind of suck too, which I was kind of hoping would be a little bit better. So I don't know. That part's probably the most disappointing part in the room for me because you spend half of your trip sleeping on your bed essentially.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, this one's a pretty big letdown.
Yeah, I think that this is one of the worst beds I've ever slept on. And David said he didn't have any back problems or anything. He is known to have back problems.
Yeah.
I actually am not known to have any sort of aches and pains, and I wake up every day with aches and pains because of this bed. So if that tells you anything, it's just not my favorite. I am sleeping okay. One thing that's not really bed related, but related to sleep, is that our room is actually really creaky, which this is a brand new ship. It's been out less than a year at this point, and it is very rocky, but like our room is making lots of weird noises, and so I haven't been sleeping well because of that, but I don't think it's because of the bed. But yeah, I do wake up with a little bit of shoulder and back pain every single day, and my arms fall asleep while I'm sleeping.
That does happen to me too.
I'm not a fan of firmer beds, so that's probably it. But if you do like a firmer bed, then this would be the one for you.
You'll probably be okay. I do want to talk a little bit more about the creaking because it's insanely weird. Like, we've been on rocky cruises before, no problem. It's okay. We don't mind it that much. But this one, I don't know what it is. I don't mind the rockiness of it, but it legit like shakes the room.
Yeah.
And there's lots of little pops and creaks, and like Rachel mentioned, it feels like it's still settling. Now, maybe that's a thing, but I tried like putting pressure in spots, like maybe it's a little bit loose or something like that. No, it's all pretty solid, and the creaking still happens, so it's like literally impossible to like wedge something to prevent the creakiness. I could see that being a serious issue if you wake up to even the slightest little sounds because it's loud. And again, maybe that's something that heals over time. Maybe that's where our room is particularly. I'm curious to see if you've stayed in one of these rooms, what it was like for you. Maybe it's very similar. Maybe the regular balconies don't experience that at all. And again, maybe it's just the floor or whatever we're on. So
yeah, and we are pretty much in the center of the ship. So you would think it wouldn't be one as rocky, but then it wouldn't be as creaky because typically it's creakier on the ends and on the outside. So we are pretty much in the inside center, almost exactly, of the ship. It's just kind of strange.
It's very strange. And again, it could be a problem for a lot of people.
Now, you kind of alluded to it, but let's talk about the balcony and what we actually ended up thinking of facing the World Promenade. And we're going to do a video all about the ship, so you can go watch that if you want to see, you know, our thoughts about the ship and a tour. But essentially, this room faces what they call the World Promenade, which has some bars, some entertainment areas, some restaurants, some shops, and it's like basically it's a high-end mall in the middle of your cruise ship. And then it faces other people's balconies. This to me is not worse than having an interior room, for sure. Like, I would, if I was given the option between an interior room and this room, I would pick this room because it is at times really nice. They actually have like little shows they put out there. We actually just had one where there were a bunch of Lego people out there and they were, you know, dancing along. So there are times when it's really useful, and we actually did not get wet. It was really raining the first 2 days, and the balconies were all really shaded from that. So if you'd had an outside balcony, your balcony probably would have been wet.
Yeah.
So that was actually really nice. And I've gone out there and done some work and things just right on the balcony. Thing is, it's really echoey.
It is.
And so this is not a room where you'll want to leave your balcony door open unless you just don't care about hearing everybody and everything constantly. And you can't really see the ocean. You can see a little bit, but you can't see a ton of it. So if you really want to have like an expansive ocean view, this is not for you. If you kind of want to feel like you're in the mix with people and doing things when you're not, then this is probably great for
That's
you.
exactly what I was thinking, is if you want to feel like you're in it but not really in it, this is actually kind of like the perfect room. Now, I do think if you were towards the back more, you have a little bit more of an ocean view. And actually, like, a little bit of a life hack is kind of booking it towards the back, because you do get more views of the ocean. And I think back there would be actually pretty cool. But there's also a smoking area back there. So I could see that probably making it up onto the balcony. I do think you nailed it on the head. It's like you're in the mix with everything, but it does get pretty loud. When they have like the violinists out there, though, I really like it. I actually think it's a pretty cool room. It's very unique
It is.
in a lot of ways, and I think it's leaps and bounds better than having an interior room because, again, unless the noise is really going to bother you, I will say the balcony door does a pretty good job of keeping it out.
It does, yeah.
I've done some work calls and it was pretty loud. It's probably the loudest it had been, and I could hear it fairly loud, but we're in the middle of the day, so I can't be too upset about it. At night, though, it doesn't really come through. They're pretty good about the noise levels, I think.
And I want to say you do get a good amount of space on your balcony. It is very long and it's actually pretty wide. It's, not actually a straight line across. It has different peaks and valleys. So you get a good amount of space. We have not seen what a regular balcony looks like on this ship, so I can't tell you if it's exactly the same size or if this one may be a little bit larger. But I think I am impressed with the amount of space on the balcony, especially considering the room is actually fairly small compared to other rooms of this kind of category on other ships. And I think for me, if I was going to choose, if the price was the same, I would still choose to have an outside balcony facing the ocean. But I do think ultimately it was a cool thing, and I'm not mad that we got it. I was really apprehensive when we first got on the ship. But yeah, I think it's been a really good balcony.
I really like it.
But what do you think? Have you sailed on the World America? Did you have a promenade view? Did you have a regular balcony? Like, which do you prefer? Or I know like Royal has some ships that have the promenade view.
That's what I want to know. How does this differ from the Royal ones? Because I could, maybe we do a versus video at some point.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments any of your experiences like that. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more travel content from us, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Yeah. But for now, I'm Rachel.
And I'm David.
And we hope this video helped you find the right direction for your next adventure.
Bye.
Bye.